All right, let me know if this is you. You wake up whenever you feel like it. You show up to the community whenever you feel like it, and bam, 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 within about 20 minutes, you've got 3 leases and bam, you're out. You get to take the rest of the day off. Hey, if that's you, I want you to click off of this video right now. I can't help you. But if that's not you, if you live in the real world like the rest of us, and you want to get more done, you want to achieve your goals, you want to lease more apartments, well, hang in here with me, and please subscribe to this channel. There's a little red box right there. I want you to click it. But the most important thing is I want you to hit the notifications, because I'm all about helping you get better. I'm all about helping you lease more apartments. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University, the #1 training system for leasing agents and leasing consultants and property managers in the world. People that go through the Leasing University training lease 7 times more apartments. Well, let's talk about right now 9 common mistakes. 9 common mistakes that we make while we're touring the community, while we're showing apartments to our prospects. So we teach you a lot of very powerful questions at Leasing University. I go through a lot of videos on this YouTube channel about asking the right questions. Questions are ultra important when it comes to leasing apartments. Well, the first mistake that a lot of us make when it comes to tours, when it comes to showing the apartments, has to do with a question. And that question is, hey, would you like to take a tour? Would you like to go see the apartment? Don't put that question out there. Listen, just proceed, just move forward. They schedule an appointment. Don't be asking them if they want to take a tour. That's going to establish some negativity in your prospect's mind of, I don't have time to look at it right now, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Walk this way, follow me. I've got something amazing I want to show you. Come this way. Don't ask them, hey, do you want to come look at this? Be excited. Come look at this. They've got to tour the community. They've got to engage with the community and that apartment. Mistake number 2, not finding out the why behind why they want that apartment. Needing more space is not the why. What's going on with their need for more space? What is going on with their current situation? And what is their ideal living situation? It is your job to not only find out that why on the phone call, but continue to dig into that why during the tour. Listen, people rent apartments based on their emotions, and they justify those emotions with logic. So if you're getting a lot of pushback, hey, the price is way too high, that is that little bit of logic justification. And what that means is you haven't built enough emotional value. And if you don't know the why behind why they would want this apartment, why it's going to make their life better, why it's going to improve their situation, well, you can't build that value that's going to overcome, that's going to trump, that's going to be so much greater than those little logic questions like $1,400 a month or $2,300 a month, or, oh, that security deposit sounds like a lot of money. It's because you haven't figured out the why that's going to drive them to say, I need this apartment. This apartment is going to change my life. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm going to walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm going to show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm going to show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense. Even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University. Mistake number 3, and we all make this mistake from time to time. Let's say it's a Tuesday, it's 12:15 p.m. and somebody comes in on their lunch break because they've just got a few minutes. Well, the mistake that we make is we don't believe that they're gonna lease an apartment today. Listen, it's the middle of the week, it's the middle of the day, they were just popping by. They told me that they were just driving by and they just wanted to check a few things out. They literally said, I'm not gonna lease something today. Well, a mistake that we make is we believe them, or even worse, they don't say they're not gonna lease today, but we assume, hey, they're not gonna lease today. I'm sure they're gonna come back Friday afternoon when they've got some more time. I want you to always assume that your prospect will lease today and proceed as if they're going to lease today. Listen, you should be going through your closing system. If you're not using the Leasing University closing system, well, good luck. If you have the Leasing University closing system, you know it works on just about every single renter in any market at any time, at any price point with any type of apartment. So why are you not proceeding as if you're gonna get that lease today? I don't care if it's Tuesday, I don't care if it's Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. and the community doesn't even open up for 2 more hours and they just seem to catch you outside of the leasing office and you got your coffee in your hand. Assume that they're there to sign a lease from you, and you are going to be surprised at how many times when you proceed as if they're gonna lease, well, guess what? They actually lease the apartment. Mistake number 4, you don't think they can lease. And come on, let's be honest. Sometimes people come in. Maybe it's what they're wearing. Maybe it's how they're talking. Maybe it's their attitude. But you don't think, oh, they're never gonna qualify. They don't have the money. Or if they do qualify and they don't have the money, well, this is just too much apart for them. I don't think they can lease this apartment. You're killing yourself. Stop making assumptions about your prospects. And when you assume that they can't lease, well, guess what? They're not going to lease even if they could lease. It is your job as a property management professional to give every single person an amazing experience. Build that value. And listen, if they can't lease the apartment, well, you just got additional practice providing a great experience. Can you imagine if Walt Disney Corporation had this attitude? Well, you know what? When people come into the park, what we want to do is we want to size them up based on what they're wearing and what they can afford. And you know what? If they can't afford to do the one-on-one meet and greet with Mickey, well, we're not even gonna pitch it. Listen, no, that is the wrong attitude to have. You have to assume that everybody can lease the apartment. And I'm going to give you a little tip here as the founder of Leasing University. Nobody shops for apartments for fun, and just about everybody, and by just about everybody I mean 99.9% of your prospects, well, they knew what it cost before they got there, all right? This is an apartment community. Nobody's just going to stop on in to check out what's going on. So the fact that they're physically there probably means they can afford to live there. So go ahead and assume that everybody will qualify and let the rest play itself out. But you're going to provide them with a great experience. Mistake number 5, and we make this mistake all the time when people are like, hey, I've got a fixed budget. I've got to stay below $1,800, or I've got to stay below $600, or whatever it is. I've got to stay below $3,000 for this apartment. We assume that the tour is not going to influence their decision, and we assume that the tour is not going to influence their budget. Horrible, horrible mistake that you can make. Listen, your tour is where they connect. Your tour is where they start to build that value. Your tour is where they go, oh, I could really see myself here. Man, what would it be like to every night go to sleep in this amazing, amazing apartment, and every morning wake up here Or maybe that's where my desk is going to be. Or maybe that's where my kids are going to do their homework while I'm cooking dinner. Listen, when somebody calls the community or comes in and says, hey, you know, I just want to make sure that you only show me apartments, you know, that are 1,100 and below. And we go through and we just show them something. And we don't think, hey, I have the ability and it's my duty to show them all of the value here. And if that means we're going to maybe look at something that's $200 out of their budget, well, go ahead and show them. Let them make that decision. But I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt. Most of that value is going to be built during that tour. So let them talk about their budget after the tour. Show them all of the value, and you are going to be surprised at how many times they go, you know, I think I want to spend a little bit more. I want this. I want to live here. I want to wake up right here every morning. This is home. Mistake number 6, and I even do this at Leasing University in our own way sometimes, and it's easy for all of us to make this mistake. We take our apartments for granted. And we take our community for granted. Listen, I take our training at Leasing University for granted sometimes. You have to realize you have an amazing, amazing apartment community. You have an amazing, amazing product. Remember that when you're talking about that with your prospects. It's so easy for us to be like, oh yeah, we're close to the mall, or you know what, we've got a bike trail, you know, no big deal, because you see it every day. Your community is amazing. Don't take that for granted. I want you to re-inspire yourself. We do this activity sometimes in our live events where we do a little role play and we come up with what are the 5 things that make our apartment community great. Listen, you should know at least 5 things that make your apartment community great, and I want you to on a regular basis refresh that, reinvigorate yourself, re-inspire yourself. Your prospects can only get as inspired about the community as you are. So when you're taking your apartments for granted, when you take your location for granted, when you take your great staff for granted, maybe your maintenance team consistently goes the extra mile. When you don't communicate and project that you are excited about that and you are proud of that, well, your prospects are never going to be able to see that value. Don't take your apartments for granted. Mistake number 7, you don't believe in emotional attachment. Listen, it's very easy to get to this place as property managers, as leasing consultants, because all we hear about is price, budget, money. Well, listen, your prospects, it's very easy for them to get emotionally attached to this apartment. And like I said before, people rent based on emotions and they justify it with logic. When you're touring the community, make sure that you're touching the countertops, that you're coming alive, that you're getting excited, and you're getting them excited. That's the reason people test drive vehicles, right? You know an $80,000 sport utility vehicle is going to stop when you hit the brakes and go when you hit the gas. But those people at the car dealership know that when they get you behind the wheel, that you're going to love that vehicle and you're going to become emotionally attached to it. I want you to understand that it's very easy for you, if you do the right things during your tour, to get your prospects emotionally attached to that home, to that apartment, and they're not going to want to let it go. Mistake number 8 is you start believing your prospects when they tell you the only thing that matters is price. Listen, if they're telling you the only thing that matters is price, one of 2 things is going on. Either number 1, they're lying to you, or number 2, you have done such a horrible job that you've shown them zero value in the apartment community. And what that means is any price over 0 is gonna be too expensive for them. Listen, price is only a factor when the value doesn't exceed it. It's your job as a property manager, it's your job as a leasing agent or a leasing consultant to understand what's important to that renter, why it's important, what they want to see first, why they want to see it first, and all the value that your apartment can bring them all of the value that you can do in helping them go from their current situation to their ideal living situation. When you start believing your prospects when they tell you, listen, hey, this is all about price, just want to be price, you are doing yourself a disservice. Focus on the value and the price is going to work itself out. I promise you that. And finally, mistake number 9, and this one is a killer. We start our tours without recapping our understanding of our prospect's current situation, without recapping with them our understanding of what they're looking for and what's important to them. Listen, if you just start the tour without recapping with your prospects, it is so easy for you to be off track, and it's also so easy for your prospect to be off track. Moving can be stressful. Moving definitely is stressful. It can also be overwhelming. And if you're not recapping what's important to them, well, then they don't know how to understand the value when they see it. Listen, if you struggle at all, or maybe you're not recapping at all, we have a very simple to learn system on how to recap your understanding of your prospect's current situation. We teach our students to do this every time before they get the lease, and that plays a major role in why our students at Leasing University lease 7 times more apartments than the rest of the industry. Listen, I encourage you, check us out over at Leasing University, or you can call our Denver headquarters anytime at 888-735-7459.